We advocated civil disobedience and non-violent opposition against.
Entertainment to me is everything. Entertainment is surrounding myself with loved ones, family, watching some good television.
It's Monday. Welcome to the show. I am Tokwe Mwakadige, and I am not alone on the show. As usual, we have the ladies right here. How you doing, BC?
Hi, everyone. Hi. Excellent morning, ladies. We had a good weekend. We're at the Celebration Fashion Show.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing.
It was fun.
Yeah, dancers.
The dancers were on point. The outfits, those fashion designers were creative. Good, and they had more women. I will leave the rest of the gist for Amakasha because we were there together, but we had fun. We hung out to YK after the events just to keep her company till very late in the night.
Are you serious?
And she got me drunk as usual.
Yeah, she does.
I was dieting, Amaka forced me to drink. But it's okay. It's all well and good. Then yesterday, I had a conversation with my publisher. I'm working on my first book, which is going to be about parenting, which will be accompanying the teenagers course. So if your kids are doing the course, you also need the book so that you're able to relate properly. Yes. So I was going back and forth to the publisher. This has to be in, that has to be in. I've sent out the book to some persons to review so that they will get back their reviews and it will be in the book. So it was just small work. Then Oga was looking for attention to a woman. So when I finished all the work, I now went to go and say, sorry, but I'm here now. What do you need me for?
It's not easy to be married to It's not easy to be married to a working woman.
And your hair is giving.
Thank you. Hair by BC. House of BC.
Giving. Complete package.
Thank you.
Akashat Nimazibiri.
I'm fine.
How are you doing?
It was a nice weekend. I rested and I went out on Sunday. But it's my friend, I call her Justice Ibukun because her husband is the Honorable Justice Pokano. So I call her Justice Ibukun Pokano. Happy birthday, Ma.
Happy birthday.
And it's also my best friend's little daughter's birthday. So Aisha, Oyinkansola Banjo, happy birthday. From your dad and mom, there's a special message. Let me read it. It says, Aisha, a special gift from Allah. From day one, you've been special and you shall continue to be. We wish you all the good things of life and we pray for a successful life and the hereafter. Enjoy your birthday, baby, from mommy and daddy. But from me, your mommy, because her mom has been my best friend since I was 13. She's
you
2
have
years
like
older.
100 best friends.
Yes, but this best friend can read my mind.
But this one is 13.
Yes,
they are different
levels of best
you
friends.
see these market skills I have. We broke it all together. I remember when we turned 16, all the markets in Lagos we went together. So happy birthday, Aisha. Your younger ones, Gufran, Moiz, and Imran, wish you many beautiful years.
Amen.
Amaka.
Hi. I woke up to the most amazing news this morning. My friend Zini, she just had a baby boy. Yes, we've been tracking this labor for 2 days.
Tracking labor.
I'm telling you, tracking like how
track labor.
He's coming, he's not coming. Then I woke up this morning, the husband has sent a message, the wife sent a message around 1:30 to 2.
It's a good way to start the week.
I'm telling you, Zini, I love you so much, baby girl. You know how we did. Next week is her 40th, so amazing. So this is an early birthday present. Yeah, so I also went to
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We're starting our front page review with The Nation. Major headline: experts list merits of crude sale to refineries in Naira. In other news, North leaders in final push to end banditry, terrorism. Yakubu, after 110 years, Nigeria is indivisible, ethnic groups interwoven. Report 6 PIA amendments to halt falling government revenue. Husband stabs new wife to death in Lagos. House stabilization bill before National Assembly will affect taxation. And you can miss the story. Celebrating teachers. From the left, Minister of Budget and National Planning, Atiku Boguda, and Minister for State for Education, the federal government of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, as well as some dignitaries acknowledging the Teachers Day, celebrating teachers. That was on Saturday. It was a beautiful time to celebrate all the teachers, all of us teachers.
I didn't even know. I was getting text messages, people talking about my coaching, my impact, and all of that. I didn't know why they were celebrating. Oh, wow.
It's Teachers Day. All right, so what story are we starting with?
I have the husband and wife story, this newlywed, very painful one. A 30-year-old man, Moturai Olani, stabbed his newly wedded wife, Olajumoke Olani, to death. And according to the spokesperson for the Lagos State Police Command, Benjamin Day, he confirmed the story. He said that it happened at 1 p.m. in the Amazing Grace Estate in Elekpe in Ikorodu. When they got the distress call, they got there, they saw the wife stabbed and the house on fire. When they put out the fire in the one room, they found she had stab wounds on her tummy, abdominal area, and he had just minor stab wounds, and then the house was burning. And so they suspect that he locked her in the room and set it ablaze after he had inflicted those injuries and murdered her, and then inflicted minor injuries on himself, maybe suspectedly as a cover-up. But he's been rescued, taken to hospital, treated, and now in police custody. And so investigations will reveal, reasons and circumstances better and clarify things better.
What happened? That's so painful.
Terrible.
So I have the major headline. So experts are saying that the sale of crude in Naira to refineries will have positive impacts across key economic sectors. According to them, they said the action will usher in a new era of stability and growth, which was following the Federal Executive Council approval. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, at the weekend confirmed the commencement of the Naira for Crude, Naira for Products transaction arrangements. And the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPCL, is now selling crude to local refineries in Naira, and they are using Dangote Petroleum Refinery as the pilot. So this is really great news. So economic and finance experts were happy about this, say it's starting as at yesterday, and this will have positive impact on the economy. Also on our foreign exchange, which is Forex, and also position our currency value, energy security, and inclusive development of several sectors of the economy. So what they're saying that this is a very good policy. It will have several multiplier effects across the sector. One of the issues they've always had is the fact that marketers constantly seek Forex. They're always looking for Forex to be able to buy this product, and they buy it at that international price. By the time they are converting to sell to Nigerians, the end product, we see how it's increasing. But if we're able to give out our crude in Naira and they are able to purchase it, they take out the Forex that they are looking for. That will also help our own Forex industry so that the burden is not so much on it. And then also reduce the price. And hopefully when they cut out all those importation, transportation and all of that, we'll see it come down. Yes, we'll see it come down.
All right.
Yeah, so with all that's been going on in some of the northern states, insecurity and banditry has made some of the northern states to be a no-go area. With that in sight, the North has taken a bold step to galvanize its people in a major attempt to end banditry and terrorism. Leaders of the region that has remained in the throes of insecurity since 2009 under the aegis of the Arewa Consultative Forum have raised 2 panels to make recommendations that will finally put a final stop and seal on insecurity. I hope that works. The panel has been given till mid-November to come up with proposals which will be reviewed by the ACF, and then the recommendations will now be collaborated with the head of states of the northern states, the governors of the northern states, and the federal government to ensure that these recommendations are actually implemented. And to head the panel are 2 people. One is a tested technocrat and a consummate former military officer. The former head of service of the Federation, Alhaji Yayale Ahmed, is the head of the Unity, Peace and Reconciliation Committee, and also a former chief of army staff and one-time defense minister, General Abdulrahman Dambazwa, who heads the Committee on Security. So hopefully with this, by mid-November, we'll know what recommendations that they put in place, we'll know what reviews that are done, and then we really hope that this really ends insecurity this time around, yes.
Fantastic. So I'm taking a story also from the north, from eminent professor of history, Mahmoud Yakubu, who was also the INEC chairman. He was speaking at the Arewa House Department of History in Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Kaduna, and he was addressing the marking of 110 years after amalgamation. Amalgamation took place in 1914, and this is 2024, and it's been 112 years. And in his speech, he said he has gotten over the fact that people are still talking about how Nigeria is not Nigeria, we are not united. Nigeria is not going to divide, that Nigeria is indivisible. After 110 years, that Nigeria has come to stay. The ethnic groups are so interwoven, intermarriage has taken place, that most countries that we're seeing today are created through different consensus. And so this has happened. It's been 110 years. We should move forward instead of complaining about division and focus on how to remain united and maximize our strength. And I totally support it as someone who is also intermarried across ethnic.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jammies. So
My 220 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jammies.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, you for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym though, you're getting fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer,
you're already almost naked.
You're already almost naked. No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
This is. That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't think.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We're still doing front page review and we're moving on to the Punch. Major headline. Rivers crisis. Wike camp heads for court as Fubara swears in local government chairman. The drama in Rivers this weekend is Hollywood standard. Tariff hike. Disco's revenue jumped to 807 billion naira. 2027, Labour Party welcomes Kwakwanso offers to be Obi's running mate. In other news, 50 CNG stations servicing 200 million Nigerians, NMDPRA. I trafficked drugs to pay my MSc fees, Canadian suspect. Abba Moro tackles Alia as APC sweeps Benue local government seats. Naira for crude, we've taken that story. 3 refineries plan PMS production. Dangote awaits NNPC supplies. Nigeria's debt servicing soars to 6 trillion naira, says CBN report. So what are we starting with? Nobody took my River State. Nima.
I took River State in the
Another paper. Okay.
I took the Canadian.
Hey,
as if it was Nigerian, now in Indonesia to put the name. So this Canadian dared in a very, very bold move to bring what is known as Canadian loud to Nigeria. And according to the spokesperson for the NDLEA, in her 3 bags, they found 74 parcels of this illicit substance weighing 35.20 kilograms.
The liver.
She stuffed them inside 3 bags. She very bold move. She carried her mentorship, but she said that she brought it in in exchange for $10,000 Canadian dollars if she gets it here, and she had hoped to use the money to fund her master's degree program. Also in the report, the spokesperson for the NDLEA gave account of several other. In fact, one is 13 million pills of opioids, including tramadol, making quick action tramadol, that was brought in through the Port Harcourt on a Port River State, and he got another account of about 9 million naira worth of, 9 trillion naira worth of this kind of drugs that was brought in as well. So for details, well done to NDLEA. But this Canadian,
for what they are doing,
she doesn't look Canadian
at all.
I've been a black Native American. They have
all those they are red.
As Nigerians are crying, discos are cleaning out. Nigeria's electricity distribution companies have written a total sum of 887.86 billion naira as revenue in the first 7 months of 2024. Year never finish. Following the tariff increase for Band B and A customers and improved revenue collection, these findings was done by The Punch. It said that despite consistent complaints over poor power supply by consumers and high tariffs, 11 discos increased their income by 46.96% from 604.15 billion naira recorded in the same period of 2023, spanning January to July.
Wow.
Yes. Although, however, after an intense public uproar, NERC announced an 8.1% reduction to 206.8 naira per kilowatt in the electricity tariff rate for Band B and A customers. The hike in electricity tariffs has put many Nigerians under heavy energy bills, all of us. Last week, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, assured Nigerians of a possible reduction in the price of electricity in the coming months, following a current effort to step up the generation and distribution of power. I hope this is true.
I hope so too. All right, who has the other story about?
The Chief Executive of Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, says Nigeria has less than 50 compressed natural gas compression stations to feed the over 200 million Nigerians. He said despite the efforts of the federal government through the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative to give Nigerians access to the CNG as a replacement to the pricey fossil fuels like petrol and diesel, he said that, we are still deficit. So he said this at the conference of the Nigeria Association of Energy Correspondents in Lagos. And he touched on energy security, which is very crucial for Nigeria's economic growth. And despite the fact that having a huge gas utilization deficit, we're still flaring about 2.5 billion cubic feet of gas daily. Said this is wasted resources, and this could generate electricity enough for everybody. So what they are trying to do now is, this is the decade of gas initiatives, which is that by 2030, gas will contribute generally to our general energy mix, which will be adding up to 5,000 megawatts to the national grid and reducing our reliance on imported fuels. So we have to invest in gas infrastructure, and Nigeria must begin to diversify its energy resources and reduce dependency on just the fuel, which they've started doing already. And I hope that a lot of people are able to, get, involved in it, change your vehicles to
being gas
CNG.
powered.
Yeah.
Moving on to Daily Sun major headline: fuel prices may go up again as NNPC exhaust stock. This one, it is well. Work for Peace of Rivers Fubara charges newly elected local government councillors, chairman and councillors. Benue local government APC wins all 23 chairmanship, 276 councillorship seats. NDLA NABS, Canadian lady, Nima took that story. Arbitrary bank charges. CBN urges customers to report illegal levies. Constitution review, National Assembly plans dialogue for women and hold politicians accountable for campaign promises. Bishop Kuka tells Nigerians. So what are we starting with?
Let's do CBN. So the central bank, through the head of Complaints Management Division, Consumer Protection Department of the CBN, Mohammed Muazu, he is urging customers to report any illegal bank charges. He says they should study the CBN guidelines and always check their online bank statements that the bank sent to them. And if there's a variation, then you need to take it up. First of all, complain to your bank, query it, and then get to the CBN. He says if CBN is not your first line of defense, they only listen to escalated complaints. So if you've complained to the banks, the department in question, and there's no change, you then get to the CBN and they will escalate it. He advised bank customers to ensure that they have adequate understanding of all these products that the banks are bringing. They are talking to me. Or this my banks.
If you've operated other banks, having an account in the UK and in the US, you realize that Nigeria charges are ridiculous because other countries don't charge. The bank charges are not the way we charge here. It's really, really.
And one bank said they will not tell us sorry. I've not been able to pay for provision because I use that bank.
The red bank. Continue.
Yes.
You have a story here?
Yes, I do. So the National Assembly, had said it would hold a legislative dialogue with women as part of ongoing review of the 1999 Constitution. At least they're remembering women, that they have women in Nigeria. The Deputy Speaker, I just hope you noticed I did my eyes. The Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Benjamin Kano, stated this during a retreat of consultants and secretariat of the Constitution Review Committee in Abuja. He commended the consultants while saying that the two chambers of National Assembly, they are working hard to meet the deadline, which was set for the first set of alterations to the Constitution, which should be out by December 2025. I think that's too long. Anyways, if you ask me. Well, he said that some of the activities in our work plan include national public hearings, follow-up retreats, joint retreat with the Senate, engagement with the State, House of Assembly, and Governors Forum. So we have to wait till December 2025 to even know what the first set of alterations to the 1999 constitutions will be. I think that is too long.
All right, so we move on to Nigerian Tribune. Major headline: New Rivers begins from now, says Fubara as he swears in 23 newly elected local government chairmen. In other news, APC to Tinubu locates headquarters of proposed Southwest Development Commission in Ibadan. NDLA arrests the Canadian lady at Lagos with 9 billion naira worth opioids in Rivers as well. We should take that. We've taken that story. Custom requires aircraft for surveillance. Or should to launch CFO in 45 days, why we floated the Naira, CBN, and Undo flood victim count losses. Can we have the custom story?
Okay, yes. So the Nigerian Customs Service at the weekend took a significant step towards strengthening its air surveillance capabilities with the acquisition of a Cessna Grand Caravan X208B. The Controller General of Customs said that this will help them to, with the security at the borders, right? That this is a...
Metro seem to be flying out of Nigeria.
That this will be a huge step for them. It also helped them in terms of their logistics too, and deploying armed personnel, because the aircraft can carry up to 10 officers. Yes, and because it's coupled with a 6-hour aerial endurance. They can use it during the day, they can use it at night, they can use it during low visibility. That is a good one. And they went on and on about this, and I'm wondering, like, did they buy multiple aircraft, or is it just one? Because I'm wondering how this just one wants to
solve all our problems.
We
need more drones as well. All right, so Ondo?
Well, yeah. So residents of Ondo community in Ondo West local government area of Ondo State are counting their losses after the flood that swept through the community on Friday following a torrential rain. So said many residents affected by the flood disaster have started to count their losses as many properties were destroyed during the 4-hour downpour. So a resident, Mrs. Elizabeth Akinfolari, said the downpour started at about 5 p.m. on Friday. It did not stop till late into the night, causing the canals and streams to overflow to their banks. He said many houses, structures were submerged. A number of residents drowned, were rescued by some individuals, while thankfully no life was lost in the flood. So inspecting the affected areas, the special advisor to the governor, Loki Aiyedatiwa, on works and infrastructure, Pastor Ayo Babalola, visited the community with some engineers from the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, and he said the government would take steps on the dredging of the river streams in the area. They mentioned some areas already, you know, let's just leave it at that. Yeah.
Nima, please, you need to give us this wicked story, sharp.
So yesterday, the governor of River State, Governor Asim Fubara, swore in 23 local government chairmen who emerged in the poll, and the Action People's Party of River State sweep all the 22 of the 23 local governments. So they had 22 chairmen sworn in and 1 guest, but he says this is the new River State, and the PDP lost for the first time.
Wow!
In all the local governments.
The new River
State. There's a video of Wiki that said, "Don't try governor. Governors are very powerful." Oh. I think that's what we are seeing the evidence of. That's what we can take on front page review for today. When we return, we'll go through. We have a sponsor segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
I'm so happy to announce to you about my decision to invest in Adron Home Visco series. When the marketer met me and said I can be paying 10,000 naira monthly, I was surprised. I jumped and grabbed the opportunity.
Now, with the Vidco Plot series, you only pay 10,000 naira monthly for 100 months to get your own plot of land. Enjoy unlimited access to our estate facilities.
For fun time with the kids, we've got you covered.
Sport lovers, we got you. Finally, time for a swim.
Remember, you only pay 10,000 naira monthly for 100 months. Adron Homes.
Building cities, communities, and homes.
You want to talk business? Meet me in the Onboard Lounge.
No matter how you celebrate, spread the goodness with Malta Guinness.
One choice, multiple styles. All big, all unique.
There are common features about successful people. They are healthy and active with a mindset to win. They start their day with a good meal and support their systems with Didion syrup of hemoglobin vitamin B12. 2 spoonfuls of Didions taken straight or mixed with your beverage for the office, gym, or picnic keeps you in top form all day, and you are always good to go. Didion syrup of hemoglobin. You are good to go.
As the morning light filters in, the Max Breakfast kickstarts your day from the bedside.
Bring you the morning vibe and plenty of ginger to start your day right.
Join us on the Max Breakfast as we help you through your day one step at a time. On Max Hits, we've got the ultimate playlist for you. We give you back to back.
And all the biggest news from the world of entertainment. Only on Max Hits.
Area. Waiting the apple, waiting the shop. You need to know what you need waiting the 102.3 Max FM.
Lagos, Nigeria, you're welcome to the Max Drive.
Whether you're there for inside motor, you're there for inside traffic, we're there for you with a Max.
Late nights on Max FM is where we help you connect the dots and put you in that place where you are ready to do it right.
We are dishing out the top hits of the week, counting down the biggest songs on your radio.
Let's go.
Right now.
On Max Sports, we bring to you sporting events happening all around the world.
It's not just sports, it's entertainment.
You know what it is. It's the Max House Party. King Dion, DJ Charlie Sheen. Let's
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So, Mr. Alfred gained nationwide attention when a video of him passionately promoting Aquafina water at a bustling bus garage in Onitsha, Anambra State went viral. His energy, unique style of advertising drew admiration from people online, leading to the bottling company branding him, sponsoring his business with investment worth millions of naira. He was provided equipment, including generator, deep freezer worth 8 million naira, as well as additional capital to bring the investment to a total of 15 million naira. However, in a shocking twist of fate, Alfred revealed that despite the enormous backing he received, he could not account for that money right now. According to him, a spiritual attack caused him to lose 15 million naira investment by a bottling water company, Aquafina. So what are your thoughts? We're going to be discussing this. It went viral on Instagram and we've seen plenty of comments. And our question is, we're in Nigeria. Is spiritual attack real? Can spiritual attack take away money? What could have gone wrong? How could this have been managed better? Lessons for the future. You can join the conversation by calling us on 0810-7641-679, or you can call us on 090-241-63440. Tweet to us on X. We'd love to hear from you, or you can drop your comment on YouTube. It is an interesting conversation, and Obiajulo, the deaconess, is here to tell us about the spiritual powers.
You know, you told me before you married that you are not a spiritual person or whatever, but now that you are...
Stole you the slippers. So I will stole you.
Deaconess. She's a deaconess. And spiritual attack. This Aye Leo.
Hey.
Because this investment just disappeared. The guy said he will sell.
Just like
not
that.
see the
He will
money.
not see the money. He will not be able to account for the money.
What do you think?
So, first of all, attacks always find something to come through, right? There must be a loophole. So they say something like, when you break the edge, the serpent will bite. So you have to break the edge first before serpent sees space to enter. And no money just sits down to disappear. Forget all these people that say monkey chop money and the snake swallowed money. It doesn't work that way. Yes. No, it doesn't work that way, right? Something must take the money. So it could either be that you are not planning properly, you're spending without accounting for it. Family members all of a sudden have seen that God has lifted you up with their demands, and then the money is going out instead of being replowed back into the business. So the first person I'm going to blame is the Aquafina company, who went directly to endorsing him for business. Because somebody can market and sing and dance and get sales does not mean the person is equipped to handle a business. To handle a business, you must be holistic in every aspect. Your ability to market, your ability to sell, your ability to record what you're selling, your ability to replow it into the business, your ability to calculate, know when you're losing. Because sometimes you think you're selling and making profits, but by the time you now start calculating, I used to think I was selling and making profits till I got an accountant who was doing my books, and I realized that this month we made a loss. But I sold now. I said, Auntie, sit down, let us do this calculation, you know. So for you to equip somebody with business, I felt they rushed into it without understanding if this particular person has the capacity to handle a business. What they could have done for him, because he was so good at marketing, was to make him a promoter and pay him commissions of what he's bringing. So he's still enjoying the aspect of him dancing around, making noise for people to buy the market and making money off that. That way, what he now does with the money, if he's able to save up from his commissions and now decides to, okay, I would like to start up this business. Can you people give me additional products to add to this? Then this person is ready for business. But you don't just see somebody dancing and then you feel, okay, because you have brought us customers, let us equip you. The person may not be able to handle it. So if actually that there's a spiritual something that eats the money, it could be through anything. So I had a very long distance friendship at some points that started doing business. And every time he made a loss, the loss was going into drugs. Yes. Once he feels bad, maybe market does not sell, he'll go and do something, go and take something. So before he realized, he became addicted to taking that thing, and then he was using all the proceeds from the business to take that thing. And the business crumbled. When you ask him, he will tell you it's the devil. Yes, spiritual. They are pursuing me. They are fighting me. How did you give room for them to catch you in the first place? Let me leave it here. My other learned colleagues are here too.
Actually, the irony in this matter is that, thank God, so finally, I now know what is wrong in my business.
Hey, what?
I now know that all my money that has been missing since, that is not adding up, that is a spiritual. I didn't know, nobody told me that, and I've been worrying myself. Now I know. So at least you know that one. And secondly, it hurts me when big organizations, big brands, when they don't really give back. In their mind, they just feel like giving back, is, going to different places, communities to share what they are selling and stuff. You forget that the reason why you're in business and you're making money is because you have distributors, right? The small scale distributors, the medium scale distributors, the large scale distributors. And then with the small scale distributors, which is the category that boy falls into, is where you should always set up like a training for them. You should always set up meet and interact and know what to do better to grow their business, to get to the medium scale. You don't just set up a business for somebody because you feel like he's a good advertiser or he dances and stuff like he said. So I believe that in this situation, what they should have done, seeing that this boy was he started with just carrying what's on his head, and they wanted to give him a business of 15 million. That's a lot for him, right? So first of all, you need to check, what's this person's capacity to handle that amount of money, funds, right? Does he equipped with the right training? What has been put in place for him to be able to take stock, do his accounting proceeds, know whether he's making, and then come back to us. Then if you're giving someone 15 million naira, how do we come back in order to support this person in every way possible that they might need it, to supervise this person, to monitor and see what he's doing, how he's doing. Because if they had done that, if they were still part of his business, they will have noticed that there was something going on before he gets to the point where he has lost all that money. Yeah, I really feel for the boy. I was really rooting for him.
I could saw that video.
So for other brands that want to also help people off the streets, you also have to put in the time and effort to follow through, to mentor them, follow through, to make sure that they actually succeed. Because it's sad that you put in money into someo's business and then it crashes and all the money.
I don't understand why these two people are doing like this. Because the two of you, today is Monday, we just left church. You people are saying that the world people are not there.
Because, no, we didn't say that.
Because he said he consulted spiritual. He had to, because he didn't know what was happening. And they told him that it was a spiritual matter. Nima, it was a spiritual. So as if are assuming like there was no spiritual.
We didn't say that.
I just realized that there's a spiritual that told. Now I want to go and consult.
I cannot say that there's no spiritual.
Help us.
Because the spiritual that affected rice is the person that refused to use the right machine to mill my rice and let stone come inside and refuse to do the polish that we've always polished to achieve foreign rice standards. That is very spiritual. But they're spiritual. That one, as Africans, we cannot even sit here. But the things that we cannot understand, cannot sit on national TV and try to explain it. What BC said was my initial stand on this issue. On his side, on the side of the company in question. But I also want to see the side of the company in question. If you put 8 million naira worth of goods to start up somebody, they gave him dispatch They gave him freezers. They gave him everything he needed. He said it in the video. I don't think that they left him to himself. I don't think that, because I see in distribution companies, at least my mom, my mentorship mom does flour, and for this major flour company, there's periodic training, there's periodic review of their business with them to help them grow, and you know she's been able to sustain and grow well in business to the extent she's saving her funds and you're doing well. So I know that as a business, when it comes to that supply and distributorship chain, they take it serious because that's what sustains their business. This popular drink, I can't mention the brand. I met one of their chain line in Satellite Town, the person that reviews the businesses. So he works off the office for what they call them remotely. He works remotely because he has to review all the distributorship channel they have in Satellite Town, all the way into First Stack every single day. So he's the one that comes and says, you took a certain amount of bottles, how is business doing, how many more bottles, you know, and the ones that they will give and say, okay, they'll come back later. So it's a full day's job. But this person that they give business, if you know the year word, and they like chop fried meat during working hours, you know, there are several ways they used to chop money.
Or you buy a girlfriend.
Yes, and the girlfriend needs an iPhone now, because now you have 8 million naira, how can you not be able to buy me iPhone? You know, and a lot of all those spiritual needs that used to worry somebody. Even our spiritual people that used to check the spiritual. You know, spiritual people.
You also need money to consult.
They need money. And you know, if you need to do sacrifice, it's money.
It's money.
The gods now eats money. You know, so you to prepare the thing, to enter into the spiritual for you to fight the battles you cannot.
You need to pay them money.
Yes. There's a check to it. Invoice don't they follow those things completely. You know, so those kind of things are spiritual that they can affect a person. It takes a straight head to do business in this our kind of climb without having those kind of spiritual wahala. They used to worry somebody a lot. You know, I feel that if he had followed the guide of the company, because he was saying, I called him, even the way he was talking in that video for me, my heart break. Sana money misroad. Because you know, some people have these ideas of how they will run their businesses. They've been trained from running their mother's small shops, but they don't just need funds.
Opportunity. Let me add something.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with the conversation. We'll continue with the conversation of how this 15 million could have benefited more lives, or how we could have ensured that we didn't waste this 15 million investments. Stay with us. Be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Host, I can tell you that being a parent is one of the biggest reality shows you will ever produce. Hi. Oh, yeah. As cute as they can be, even you need to take a break to take care of some of the other realities of life. And that's why the TVC Staff Crash was put together to help parents just like me get those professional childcare services that we need. Come on, let's go. Let's go. The TVC Staff Crash Baby Lounge team of professionals are here to help take a load off your mind. The TVC Staff Crash is a nursing mom support system, a toddler's safe haven, and a young learner's academy throughout the year. It's comfortable, convenient, and with competitive pricing for the modern parent. So, while they learn through play, you can go about getting your pay. The TVC Staff Crash, open to the public from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m.
you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Into 8 small businesses or even 10 small businesses.
Or even bonuses to the already
to expand even smaller
the
ones.
distributors you have already.
Everybody that is already selling that to your brand. Go and support them and say, okay, we will give you 10 more cartons. We would help you to
give
buy,
you bonus
to sell more.
for what you're doing.
Go further. But I feel really concerned about the spiritual attack matter, and I feel like we mystify what we don't understand.
Exactly, and that's what Nima said, which I totally agree. When you don't understand, you just find a way to label it something that is unexplainable. So there's something people need to understand when it comes to business and ability to handle money, right? There's a reason why the Igbos do apprenticeship for years to take out some of the mistakes that you will make on your own, you know, and the reason is that you understand the rules of the business, the rules of that game. Every business is a game. There are certain rules that you have to abide to be able to grow in that business. So when you serve for 2 years, 3 years, you take out all of those mistakes. You are seeing your guy run the business, you begin to handle the business effectively before you are now handed over your own. And even in that your own, you are supported along the line. You have handled your gas money. You have counted your gas money. You have kept your gas money. You have gone to the bank. You have not run away with your money. You can be trusted to handle money. Money has energy. You are a money coach. You understand these things. It has energy. Your energy at a particular level attracts what you have at that level. So if you move from 500,000 naira to 20 million, and your energy has not elevated to 20 million, you will fall down. And you rightly mentioned it. That's how a lot of people who win lottery use it anyhow, because their energy cannot take what has come. You will go back to where your energy is. And this is a lesson for these companies that jump on trends. Get this person involved. Train this person. Check this person's capacity. While you are training the person, you may now realize that this person cannot sell, but this person is good at marketing. Let's give him an office where he markets. He stays with his strength. Not every businessman can stand and do 15 things very well at the same time. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. And where we have weaknesses, we get other people who have strengths there to handle that aspect. But I felt like they just left him alone. You know, like this example of all those women that are begging on the streets, and we pick them up. We decide to settle them, put them in a house, you know, put their children to school, give them a few months. They go back to the streets because that is what they know. That's where their energy is. And then we come back crying that after everything I've done for you, the person is not saying it like you've done something for me. You are taking me away from what I know. What those people need, first of all, is rehabilitation for a long period of time so that they can accept the new reality and then they can function there. So everybody made a mistake in this place. And I don't know the family members of this particular boy, how they also assisted or did not assist in
of them are on the
this
same
money.
level. They will not be able to manage. Let me take this call. Welcome to the show. Good morning, Dennis. Eunice, welcome to the show.
Yeah, my name is Eunice, first-time caller.
Oh, welcome to the show. You're a first-time caller. Good to have you.
Thank you. So I'm thinking that if this guy is saying he might be experiencing spiritual problems, let's not pretend that there is no all this spirituality affecting people. We are Africans and we are Nigerians. Look, within his circle, he could have people that are not even happy that he got this opportunity, and they will go the other side to ensure they bring his business down. And then if we are saying that the company shouldn't have jumped onto him, look, there are people that if you give them this money, they know how to manage it well. So if we are blanketing the whole thing, will just be making other people to lose this kind of opportunity, even when companies are ready to help them. Now the companies will hold back because, okay, people are not able to manage this business because they've not had up to certain amount, and we cannot give them this amount. So it's not, and we should try and understand where this guy is coming from. He's pain, that's why he's even going to the spiritual whatever to go and find out. But if we just discuss like this, like he is not able, he's not capable, it could take him down to depression. And, that's really not good.
Thank you so much, Eunice. Thank you so much, Eunice. Yeah. This is a matter of spiritual thing. It's, and I think that it's important we deal with it a lot more. People fall sick and they say it is spiritual because they're not able to diagnose what the problem is. People used to have sickle cell anemia and they'll say abiku, that it's a spiritual attack. They were dying over and over again because nobody could
or resource factor.
What? Yes. People were having miscarriage back to back because the resource already missed it. And we call it a spiritual attack. I am not saying that there are not mystical powers that can manipulate the reality of some people, but I think that as a country, we have used the excuse of spiritual attack to excuse inefficiencies and
bad habits.
Lack of, yes. I was talking to my office people. We were supposed to do something on Friday. They didn't do it. I said, okay, can they make plans to do yesterday? People were in church. They were not answering messages. I organized it. We're doing it today. And I was telling my PA, I said, if I waited on the entire office, now I have 13 people collect salary in my office, full-time staff, not including off. I said, if I waited on them, we won't move. It is not by spiritual attack. It's not by the prayer. I have prayed in church, but I needed to back it up with action today. If I'm not waiting for them and I don't act, it's spiritual attack that will now hold me back from getting, because the marketing I now do today will bring in customers today, but if I delay it till next week, then I miss the customers that I get today.
They've attacked you.
Spiritual attack. Let's talk about these things.
I was sharing an account of something I experienced as a young child, and I want to believe, I say it all the time, if the interruption called colonialism did not happen to Africa, everything we do will be coming from a place of knowledge. Because everybody records the way they know. If you see some of these ancient ways of recording, you will know that Africans, we are not deficient for not writing. It's Oyibo that want to write. Our ways was to teach our knowledge to our children and our research. If I'm researching on goldsmith, for instance, as a goldsmith, on how to find the right gold and design it, my child will grow and understand it. His child will grow and know it. And that's how we taught. I was a young girl and I had terrible menstrual pain. Till date, my menstrual pain would be pulling my back hair. I would be slamming my head. And I didn't look forward to my periods. But my grandma visited. This is not normal. This is not just menstrual pain. Do you want this girl to die? Saying to my mom. But then she traveled and came back. They gave me a route, not up to this thing that I'm doing on my hand. Inside one bottle of Lucozade transparent bottle. And it turned the water to wood color. I took it for a month. I finished it. And I never had that terrible pain.
Please, I need it. I'm still having it.
You did not transfer the knowledge.
That's the point.
Yes.
But we have been interrupted such that the knowledge now, you'll be waiting that I know people get picking. They don't carry, that's slavery. Everything affected a lot of things. Blood pressure, the way they treat it, was treated in those days as well.
Yes.
This resource you mentioned, if I tell you, I will shock you. We had our ways of treating our own people so that, you speaking, don't die this number of times. Oh, it shouldn't be. My grandfather lost a lot of children. between his first 3 wives, at least 15 children.
Yeah.
And so he found ways to go about it. But it wasn't because he had to be Oyibo knowledge.
Excuse it.
It's that interruption that makes us now spiritual. Like, in them bring and come.
Yes, so not them.
We used to say, why is it this way? In those days, they'll say, don't marry into this family. This has been happening until they find it. We were treating our things the way we could until this nonsense interruption. Now everything you both say is the only way.
Let me take Dr. Wale.
We had our ways.
Come to me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Please call
Sorry,
back.
doctor.
So sorry, doctor. I want us to, you are saying colonialism is part of the problem.
No, I'm just trying to explain, why we don't see things as spiritual.
Yeah.
In those days, it didn't have to be spiritual. They will tell you to travel 7 seas and 7 oceans to find the king medicine. Because there's somebody who has the medicine, who has been through it, who has the research somewhere. We had our own ways, but they don't spoil them. So now we sit here, and it's knowledge-based. We knew those days that children were not just dying because they were Abiku. But because when interruption came, it had to be Abiku. This child, why is it happening? Why is this happening? They found their ways. We treated those things. I had an auntie. She lost a lot of kids, and her kids always meet them. She always gave birth mid-term. So eventually, she had 7 children that survived. My grandpa would just wrap the baby, put her near heat, and lock her up in a room. And she survived. Our children survived. If you had left this research, or the way our ancestors, we would have gone past all this. The way they did not interrupt the Chinese, they come here and interrupt us.
So like I always say on the show, we're a product of our environment, right? Yes, and we're a product of our environment, and we should know that, like what she said, there are certain people that do certain things. Just like there are people that were praise singers, and all their lineage are praise singers. There are people that they will say they are the ones that are the priestesses for the deity.
Yeah.
And all their lineage that they know and understand these things. And so there are people that are good marketers.
Yes.
When it comes to business, right? Like the Igbo people are known for the apprenticeship system, like you said. And then the reason why you're doing that is for your master or your oga to know if
you're ready.
Yes,
you are ready.
To know whether, okay, this one is good at marketing, okay, this one needs extra more, this one needs 5 years to finish, this one needs extra 5 years, another 10 years to be able to get to, this person is a bit slow, this other person is,
Yes, now that's it. That's the trend.
So you find out that, like, as we all grow and we all learn and mature at different times and different levels, right? So for this guy, it's not like I don't believe that it was a spiritual attack. I feel that he was struggling with the business and certain things.
Yeah.
So if he was a good marketer and praise singer, they should have put him in that line,
where his strengths are.
And then they are paying him, so he can still make up to that 15 million.
Yes, in commissions.
Paying commissions, paying different things, right? Instead of, like, in nature, we just want to, everybody wants to be big.
They want to be Oga.
Everybody wants to be Oga. Not everybody is meant to
be Oga.
Not everybody is meant to be Oga. And like for what Nima said, I remember, like, my grandmother, I used to wonder, like, every time this one is constantly mixing something. If something is wrong, you don't have to go to the pharmacy. We used to call her a walking pharmacy. She has baskets and baskets and baskets.
My mother-in-law.
Miss Camphor, this oil, that. And then I now grew up to see that my father is doing the same thing.
My husband now.
Like my dad, like the shea butter I use, like my siblings use all the way in Canada. My dad makes sure that he gets the original shea butters, the python oil, all those things for your skin. If your leg is paining you, my father, they will have gotten something, mixed everything, sent to you. Like, so, and my dad is learned that something that brought, but he still has that thing from his mother. That native sense from his mother, which my mom does not even have. So, like, so you're totally correct. The guy needs to know what he's good at. He's struggling, and he struggled through something, and maybe he didn't have the right support he needed. And that's what happened.
We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll talk about the right kind of empowerment, because many of us people meet us and ask for one form of empowerment or the other, and we're confused about how to empower. Or some people are watching right now and thinking, how do I support my younger brother? He's always asking for help, or my younger sister, or my friend. We'll talk about different ways to properly empower so that we don't hear stories like this later in future. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Just close the doors. Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, Fatherland.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And number 1, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So we hear these stories all the time. Family members abroad are always complaining that they set up businesses for family members in Nigeria to support them so that they are not constantly coming for help over and over again, and it hasn't worked out. For some people, it is, we are on TV, we look very fine, right? So they feel that we have blown, and they ask us for money, financial support and all of that. And it is not, empowerment is not a problem. We want to discuss how do we empower
rightly. Yeah.
How can we support people to set up structure? Nima has lamented about somebody, she said, go and do training. The girl stop training, help to start business, help to be, you know, so there's obviously something that as a country we are missing how to do empowerment right.
So I think the first thing is to watch people and watch if they have staying power. And that's why you don't jump into becoming a messiah all of a sudden. They ask for 10 million, give them 10 million. Why? So let me give you an instance with myself. I remember when I wanted to start the business of buying and selling, right? I was still a classroom teacher at the time. And then I collected money from my husband and we bought the product. While I was still selling the product, dollar increased. I think dollar then was like 160. It now increased. And I had not finished selling my goods. And I was torn between, do I increase my price? I'm still begging people to come and buy everything. Or how do I do this? I lost money in that business. At some point, I had to give out some of the products. So when I came back again with another business idea, my husband said, brother, auntie, we're not going to do this. We are not going to do this. Leave me alone. So I thought to myself, how do I prove I can actually do business? So I started my business during COVID-19, the hair. I was drop shipping. I don't get shame. I will collect, in fact, I will advertise market. The market, somebody will pay. I will now go and collect and sell. So when I went back to my husband again to say, brother, help your sister now. Come and support this business. I had money I had made from dropship. I didn't have one good. I had made profit from all those waka waka. And one of the reasons I decided to now start doing it properly and stocking, because some of the products, by the time it gets to the customer, because I did not see it, they will complain that it did not look like the picture you sent, blah, blah, blah. So I now said, baby, I would like to buy this product so I see it myself before I send to my customers. That was how I started. And he was glad to give me additional money to start the business. When I was getting a shop, the question was, are you sure you can make up to pay? I said, I've gotten my products to this far. In fact, if you do my total, you know how much I already have in goods. Because everything I was making, I was putting it back. I said, pay this 1 year for me. I will never come back to ask you. And one of the reasons I didn't want to pay the 1 year was because I was working on materials. Yeah, so I didn't want to cut that. I said, just help me. And that before the rent expired, as much as we did not sell these past few months, I had dropped my rent. I just told him I've paid my rent. I was like, okay, that's good, right? So you must test people. It's not about I love you so much, I want to kill you with kindness. You must test people. Do they have staying power? Do they have capacity? To run business in Nigeria is not big. We are crying every day. Last month, if you see my books, you will weep for me. But your staying power means that you keep doing whatever it is. Now, when people get something that they feel it's free, it didn't come from my sweat, there's a tendency to mismanage it. And that's why you must test them small. They ask for 1 million. Why can't you start this business without a penny? Let me even see if customers will listen to you in the first place. Go around, talk about it. Let's see how many customers you can make, you can bring before I give you the cash. You see if this person is ready to work. So sometimes, test
them out with small.
Their staying power. Yes, and see their strength. In that testing, you may find out that this person cannot. See, everybody cannot do business. Let's stop lying to people. The person that we've been supporting to do business since has been failing. Over 15 businesses collapse. Our money gone. This person, when he's working for you, he's diligent. He knows how to do the work. He knows how to put himself in every work. Can you sit down in the office and work? This is where your skill. Everybody cannot do business. We all can be entrepreneurs.
Take Ayo from Mile 2. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Mile 12, rather. Hello, Ayo. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Fantastic.
Good job. Thank you for having me. Good job you guys are doing there. I must appreciate the effort. So, to be quick about this, there is no doubt that spiritual attack is, but business mindset is very crucial. So the Bible was not stupid when it says that if you're faithful in the little, you'll be faithful in the much. But the question is, what is that linked to that you're faithful in doing? There's no doubt that this guy talking about is a great marketer. He understood the product. He did a very good job at marketing, but he lacked the ability to manage a proper business which affected him. Both are a good marketer, but not a good money manager. I mean, find out loud, we're talking about 15 million naira here, and I believe that a business that is ready to put such an amount of money should have looked at 3 most important things in of a proper business. The first one is selection. You're looking at the right person to select a particular people. Fine, is a good marketer. After selecting the right, you want to look at the proper place to place them. You can't place a marketer in an accounting department. It won't work. If you have properly placed the guy, place where he's actively living in his strength, and not place where his weakness is obvious, which was what affected him. And the last thing you should have looked, after you selected your place, you should have looked at training to be better equipped. This guy has the better part of his years has costed, 50,000 naira, maybe 100,000 naira.
Maybe a better empowerment for him.
$1 million naira, that's a lot.
That's a lot of money. I'm going to dash me that money out of my business. I know we are good.
What money and bring training. Totally understand. Thank you so much, Ayo, for your contribution.
Yeah, so
how do we empower?
Yeah, I want to talk on mentorship, right? So you find out that on social media, my DM is full. So many people like mentor. For me to choose a mentor, or for people to choose a mentor, people need to understand that mentorship is a two-way game. You need to first of all respect the fact that I'm giving you of my time. The time I want to use to do a lot of things. I'm a busy person, right? I'm juggling. And then you need to show up. The people also need to understand that mentorship is serving. I have mentors. I make sure that I show up for them. I make sure that I bring value to the table. I make sure that, as the way they see me, they are proud that they are mentoring me, that I'm bringing something, I'm trying to serve them, I'm trying to show up for them, I'm trying to also put value in their own businesses so that when I need something, I need that mentorship time, they're willing to give it to me. Most Nigerians, all they want to do is that, mentor me. They're either asking you for something. They're either asking you for something. They don't show up. They don't listen, and they get too familiar. So, yes. They get too familiar and everything. So, and then forget the reason why they need that mentorship in the first place. So, mentorship is important, but you need to, first of all, find the right fit. The kind of business you're doing, not just because you admire somebody or you admire someone's business. There's a lot going on behind every person that you think might be successful, that you think might be getting it right. They're also struggling. And they also need their own mentorship, and they're also working to better themselves. So when you come into a mentorship system, like this boy needed a mentor, but he needed somebody that maybe was in the same line of business, that had scaled up. He will add value to that person and then learn what the person is doing or not doing right.
You know, and so it's a mindset. I think it was a business person.
Thank you so much. Nima, I know Nima has plenty stories of mentorship. You have learned something. There's something some have worked out right. Many have not worked out right. What have you learned in all this, your empowering people?
One thing I learned is, education in any form it is important. This person obviously, he got to this point because he had no form of education. I was still talking to somebody I interviewed for a help job at home. How is it possible at your age that you did not go to school, you did not learn a skill? Because learning a skill is part of, forming your mind and is important. And this man had to do the sales job because no form of education. If he had some form of education, he probably would do better. He would do a sales job. And so what he now did is that, okay, if it's this sales job, let me do it the best I can, which he thought by singing and praising his product is all he needed to do. And that's the angle that the investor should have carried him from.
Yeah.
That's the level of knowledge that he has. School not be scam. Any kind of school not school. But that's the level of knowledge that he had, and they should have carried him from that level where he's idolizing his product for people to collect it, to buy it at any cost. And so they should have improved it for him. Give him this platform like maybe an influencer platform to continue to endorse him as an influencer.
Yeah.
You can brand him someone as a face because he idolizes that product. Carry him like that, and that's where he will go from to the world. You don't have to come and intern him. I would have said they should make him an intern, but
he may not even be able to.
Might not do better, but he knows how to idolize anything he's doing, carrying from that point. By now, if you don't get like 50,000 followers.
Yes, other influencers too, other products too will see him and say, come on.
One guy was selling something recently. My children let me like that.
Fish pie. Wow.
He knows how to idolize his product. And somebody made him an influencer. I see that sharp. He's dancing everywhere now. In fact, October 1st.
It's expensive for someone.
Before.
It's October 1st, I came across a video.
Have you heard his voice?
But I now clicked on his page. I was shocked.
The number of followers.
Yes, that's what he's doing. Yes. And that's what this one would have
been. Imagine setting him up for business.
Buying ring lights and phone. That's what he would have needed. And by now, it will just become, as you added the endorsers, your influencers, the extensions of this world and the Aproko doctors, you'd have just included him.
Yeah.
That's it. The uneducated person.
And he will do well.
He knows about the water.
Maybe that can still be a way for them to resuscitate it. Because right now, he's asking for help because he's at ground zero.
That business doesn't work.
How can they now support him is to let him, maybe he can be a brand ambassador. You don't need to set up another business for him. No. Or let him now be using that his passion for marketing to endorse the brand. Yeah. Let's take Elizabeth, will be our final call on this segment.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to hear from you guys. You are all looking beautiful.
Thank you.
So this matter, this man, I'll put blame on both sides. This marketer, he wants to now use Makota and spoil our because he has got 15 million, he has blown it. So how the benefits that are getting the skills, getting the effort, taking ourselves, so how do we give confidence to organizations to bring out money and invest? Just like a social responsibility. Then on the side of the company, this is totally embarrassing. Because this, for me, and from the discussion person, this was purely an emotional decision. Purely an emotional decision. Because an organization should have guidelines. And the rules of engagement is not the word, the guidelines on how you select people, how you, especially when you are considering your own strategic interests. All of their interest was it in, if it was to increase sales, how was that one person's location able to increase your sales across your spectrum? Or like somebody, one of the ladies that said, why didn't you spread this money across so many people across so many states and then be strategic? So that's my, please, I should not be spoiling me, I need money.
Please look for Elizabeth in Abuja and support Elizabeth's business. So our business is also
we are many.
So obviously, this guy's spiritual attack, we've said that might just be a lack of capacity, that he's deciding to spiritualize. So he still needs help right now because obviously he has crumbled the business.
The right help.
So the right help should be offered to him, and it shouldn't just be throwing money at him. You should be supporting. I love what everybody has contributed. BC spoke about testing out the strategy. If people come and ask you, I want to start tailoring, I want to start this one, test out the person's capacity with something small before now giving them huge responsibilities and huge financial support. Amaka spoke about mentorship, and she said that for mentorship, you should, even you that you're seeking mentorship should be prepared to add value. So I feel that that's also something we can do. If you have somebody you want to support, don't just give them money for business. Pair them with a tailor. If somebody wants to sell human hair and is saying, help me establish a human hair business, tell the person to come and work for BC for 6 months.
Simple.
Tell the person to intern in BC's office. You can cover the person's transport fare so that the person does like a sort of apprenticeship.
Yes.
Vast service,
Studying
how the business go. And you can do that for anybody across anybody you want to help. Because Nima said education in any form is important. So before you give somebody money to sell rice, let the person come to Nima's place and see how Nima is bagging rice or bagging rice or
follow her to the mill,
you know, and all of those things would give the person a form of education in that business. That is what the best empowerment anybody can ask of right now.
Also self-development. You self Google.
Google it. Thank you. On that,
be on YouTube.
Yes, on that note, on that one, final one, the one of self. If we want to help those that want to support, and many of our viewers are sort of like empowered enough to want to support somebody and help somebody. We've given them how to. If you are not getting anybody's support, go on Google, University of YouTube, and support yourself by learning how to do it by yourself. That's what we can take on this segment of the show. When we return, we'll be discussing something more interesting or less interesting. Stay with us, we'll be right back. You'll find out.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
The world needs mums.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. So President Bola Tinubu is seeking to restructure the country's tax system. This new reform will scrap the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, and they'll be replacing it with a new company, or a new agency called the Nigerian Revenue Service. Both chambers of the National Assembly have received 4 different executive bills. The President Tinubu is confident. He said, "I'm confident that the bill, when passed, will encourage investment and boost consumer spending and stimulate Nigeria's economy." So joining us to discuss this further, the impact of this bill, economic, financial, business and policy development consultant, Dr. Paul Alaji is a chief economist and partner at SPM Professionals. You can also join the conversation. Ask your questions about the new tax reform by calling us on 0810-7641-679 or tweet or comment on YouTube. We'd love to hear from you. So, tax, we don't like to hear it. We don't like it. We don't love it. It is about like squeezing. Nigerians feel like they are being squeezed on all sides. So, Dr. Paul Alaji, how will this tax reform reduce the squeezing of Nigerians and yet empower the government with more revenue?
Well, thank you so much for having me. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, sir.
I feel I'm the only man here.
Yes,
You'll be fine, sir.
You're blessed among the women.
Well, first of all, the topic taxation is very important. And as an economist, we believe that it's account for what we call part of fiscal policy of government. Because if government don't earn revenue, there is no way government is going to invest in the economy. For those of us who study economics, we are particular about government income and expenditure. One of the key ways government earn money is through taxation. Now, Nigeria has been practicing, in fact, our tax structure is particularly not clear. Federal government is doing its own. You have state government with the IRS. That's for Lagos, is Lagos State Internal Revenue Service. We have different states doing all manner of stuff. We also have local governments collecting theirs, and we also have some people on the road. If you drive articulated vehicle, you might pay as much as 25 taxes on the road, yes. So if you have a pickup, there is one that's local government, we ask you to pay half year, you have to pay to road safety, you have to pay all manner of charges.
Wow.
It is so cumbersome to do business. Now, all fault will be on the man in Abuja, the man in the middle, because uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. That's the person we are going to speak with. How do we reduce the burden? Perhaps this is why Taiwo Yedele's committee was set up by Mr. President, for them to look at the challenges. Taiwo Yedele and his team are majorly private sector individuals. People like me who have been in the field, they felt the concerns. They are also professionals. So how do we combine what is going on in the market affecting our people with the reality of what they should be doing and adding best practice to that? That is why perhaps this bill is going. And it's not the only one. We have another one that we introduced, Joint Tax Board, which majorly does not have legislation, but let's put legislation to it. And let's see how we're going to have an holistic and effective and efficient system of tax collection that will not kill the people. I understand when the issue of tax come on board, many people feel, oh, now government wants to collect more money. I am somebody who has particularly say on the side of the people. But if there are no infrastructure, then the people will also suffer. So there is point of fairness on how do we provide the required things for citizens and for a nation to grow.
Okay, sir. Nigeria Revenue Service, right? That's NRS is what
Yes,
we're
NRS.
proposing. I would like to understand in totality what it means. Are we dissolving the FIRS? Are we scrapping their office? Are we sacking the people who have been working there? Or we are rebranding it in terms of name? And how are we merging? Are we now saying, okay, we're just going to be focusing, that's the NRS now, focusing only on the federal tax, or only on state tax, or only on local government? I would like to just have an understanding of what this is.
Okay, thank you so much for the question. For me, I think there is no merger. Okay. And I also think that based on the bill and the excerpt that we have seen in the public space, we are more or less changing the name FIRS. Okay. So, but to change the name, because FIRS did not just come by itself. It came with the Act of Parliament. So we have to repeal that Act. I think Act number 7, 2000, I mean, Act 7 or so, or 13, 2007. We need to repeal the Act and introduce a new one, which I think is what is currently going on at the both chambers.
Okay, one, name change.
Assembly. So we have to change the name. Two, under FIRS, there is no provision for FIRS to collect some taxes. For instance, what custom is collecting, what immigration is collecting, NIMASA, MPA, all of these government agencies, we have so many revenue collection centers. Okay. Meanwhile, in other climes, it's not that they don't collect, but they are representative of the government revenue agency in those places, which is not what is applicable under the current practice. So the master we collect their monies, they will spend, and whatever remains, they leave. Some of the time, nothing is remaining. So, but now, government feels, okay, well, this is our money, and we have interest. This money is actually for the federation. So FRS, most time even, you call it federal. But money is collected by FRS is also shared by three arms of government. Yeah. So it's not really federal, it's federation indeed, not just the federal, because it's a bit different. Okay. So now if you now have Nigerian Revenue Service, it's going to collect revenue on behalf of the federation and bring it to the federation purse, so we know that
how much we are collecting.
So it's not just going to be that the immigration is collecting and saying this is the cost of collection and all of those. So a number of things will change, and I will not be surprised if some agencies are not particularly comfortable with this system. So, but you know, there are countries there are several models around the world. There are countries where the immigration are actually collecting money on behalf of their government. And there are also countries where the revenue authority are the one collecting directly. They just have a unit in those agencies and collect it. I think the real challenge here is discipline. You know, over the year, there have been financial indiscipline, and you see all manner of revelation from snake swallowing government money to all manner of things happening. So perhaps that's why government say, well, let me put my skin where my money is. That is why they want to check where. Yes.
So aside this Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Bill, there are 4 tax bills. And they're supposed to improve our life, because I took it too. They say that they would remove VAT from certain products, diesel and all of that, and they also said that small businesses going forward will start to enjoy certain. So break down those 4 bills under the tax.
Well, there are a number of them when it comes to the things that have been sent. One of them is, I already mentioned, that's introducing Joint Tax Revenue Board. Joint Tax Board, I beg your pardon, it's beyond just the FRS or LRS. There are some revenues that should be harmonized. And at the point of harmonization, what goes to state, at that point we go to state. What goes to federal, we go to federal. What goes to the local government, so it's harmonization of some sort. Not that I have paid certain taxes in Lagos, and I get to Oyo State, you know, not too far. You just cross Ogun, you are in Oyo State. And in Oyo State, they are saying, no, that's Lagos. This is Oyo, so you have to pay us. We might speak the same local language, but you have to pay us separately. So how do we harmonize these taxes? And why do we need to? For fairness and effectiveness. Again, for convenience of the taxpayer. That is why we are doing that. Again, we have also seen the need to remove some, what do we call it now? withholding tax. Some of the businesses that you have to pay withholding tax, businesses that are doing less than 25 million in turnover, but you ask them to pay withholding tax, you're actually denying them of their cash flow. So if somebody is supposed to pay your organization that makes this cup, because you have supplied them, and they're supposed to pay you, say, 200 naira, but they want to say, we are going to withhold 10%, which is 20 naira. That 20 naira would have been used to buy raw material and expand the business. So government is saying that for small businesses, maybe this is the first phase. No, let all the monies be released to them. So there are quite a number of things that you see in the bill that are really very interesting. But for me as a professional, as we say, the devil is in the details. Let's see the details. Let's expand it beyond the excerpt that's been given to us. And if there are things that we think can be improved, we will improve. And I must also commend Mr. Idili's committee, because I've been invited about twice, you know, when they were having stakeholders meeting, one online and one physical, to look at some of the things they are doing. And I could see a lot of input from the public and from the professionals.
We spoke to him before the committee.
He's become a distant friend.
But we still remember our friendship.
Yes.
Okay, so the Tax Appeal Tribunal also forms part of the Joint Revenue
Yes.
Board. What is going on now? So can you break down for the common man what the Tax Appeal Tribunal, what it seeks to, you know?
So if you are asked to pay 17 million as tax and it's slammed on you, bam, and you are like, it's not a crime to look beautiful. Because you see my fine car and my face.
You think I have money.
And they slam your friend too. The two of you started having conversation. Why have they singled us out? Why can't they single Elijah out? Or why can't they single her? After all, we're on the same show. Why should they be charging us? We're earning the same amount of money.
We are black, that's why. They are light skinned.
So what do? Nothing. Who would you meet? Nobody. That is why there is need for tribunal.
Wow.
So that you don't just slam. For instance, I give you an instance. I mill rice. I produce rice, apart from being a professional.
Oh, okay.
And I remember when
You
I
do?
was, yes, of course.
I have a colleague here.
So when I was importing, you know, and these are heavy equipment from India, to reduce cost of rice. Unfortunately, the cost keeps going up. Not my fault, but paddy sauce. Now, when we were importing, custom just slammed additional $60,000 worth of. So where do I go to?
Right.
Now, if you don't pay, you'll be paying demurrages.
Yes.
To who? To containerized terminal owners. Somewhere in Lagos State.
Everywhere.
Now, how many people would you talk to? That is why this particular question you mentioned is so apt. To me, it's one of the most important things.
Now we must.
Because it discourages investors. How do I now want to say, okay, let me advise my team, let them do further investment, especially in agro, allied industry that affects our nation the most. So that is why I said, even for other things government is doing, it's important to look for people that have private sector experience, and they're also professionals, to bring their contribution into government.
Felt the
And
pulse.
yes, so this particular one, because if you don't have tribunal, where do you go to? Or you are driving a truck that carries, say, 600 loads bags of rice on the road, and is not government palliative. You just want to supply in a neighboring state, and custom or immigration, anybody stops you. And you say you have seen all the documents. They say stop, because they know that that thing must be delivered on time. Who do you? So if you don't give us 10,000 naira, and I'm not saying they are collecting money. I'm not also saying they are not collecting money.
You're being a politician right now.
No. I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they are not. But I'm only sharing experience for what happens. Why prices of things will keep increasing. Apart from challenges of food supply, scarcity in terms of raw materials that we need and so on and so forth. But yeah, so the toll gates
Allow me to be
are too much.
We'll take a break.
Okay.
When you come back.
When we come back, we will further the conversation. We maybe with a little bit of sarcasm from Nima. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known, For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
As the morning light filters in, the Max Breakfast kickstarts your day from the bedside.
Bring you the morning vibe and plenty of ginger to start your day right.
Join us on the Max Breakfast as we help you through your day one step at a time.
On Max Hits, we've got the ultimate playlist for you. We give you back to back.
And all the biggest news from the world of entertainment, only on Max Hits.
Area, waiting the apple, waiting the shop. You need to know what you need waiting the 102.3 Max FM.
Lagos, Nigeria, you're welcome to the Max Drive.
Whether you're there for inside motor, you're there for inside traffic, we're there for you with a Max.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We've been talking to Dr. Paul Alaje, Chief Economist and Partner at SPM Professionals, and we've been discussing the tax reforms, the new bill to rename and re-engineer how FIRS works. Nima had a question.
So I had a sarcastic question on this harmonizing taxes, because I saw when the news broke, the way people were loading it on X when the video was shared on one platform, and we were saying, this is about time. It should have happened since Obasanjo time. Why now? I've never seen where harmonized taxes improve things from a business perspective, because there are captured taxes you still deal with. There's also the local government that will refuse to conform with the harmonized taxes. I remember during BRF, there was an harmonization of taxes, and then when I did there, suddenly showed up and told us we are satellite B. We have not paid radio. I was like, they've harmonized all taxes. So how optimistic are you as a Nigerian and a businessman on that this would improve
the lives
of Nigerians?
Well, for me, it has to do with enforcement. If there are no enforcement, people will not comply. And when I mean people, I mean actors. I mean collection agents of government. There are states, I don't want to mention the name, in Southeast, where the governor have announced that don't use cash to pay your taxes anymore. But the governor was shocked that a lot of people were still calling their relative close to government, that individuals were still coming to them to collect taxes. Cash. So the government had to send people. He set up a team to start monitoring, and by the time they arrested 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 15 people, that number, incidents reduced drastically. So when we say that we are establishing joint tax board, to my mind, what we are doing is to ensure that there are no taxes that will come by surprise. You will not be driving on the road and somebody will just throw a long stick with nails wanting to puncture your tire because he wants to identify whether the vehicle is registered commercial or is registered in your personal name, you know? And this is a very common incident in Abuja. You know, so if we can harmonize all of these, I think it will go a long way to helping us. You know, so and if we don't, I can tell you that it's going to create more confusion. Now, Lagos states have tried to solve some challenges. I tell you, for signage, people in signage industry, Constitution says the funds should go. The adverts should go to local government, but local government don't own land. State owns land, so the state will build their land. And this is where the confusion comes from. State build their land. If you want to now run advertisement business in commercial terms, you want to put your board on state land. We state now say, oh, we are giving the road to local government because it's not local government road, it's state road. So who will collect money for the structure will be state. But local government will still be saying, but the view is ours. Then there's confusion or something. That is why organization like LASA is set up. DOAS in Abuja is set up. RISA. Lagos took the lead by looking at how do we solve this problem internally. I look at that agency functioning quite well. Other agencies like RISA have followed suit, ENSA, and so on and so forth. So how do we repeat that gain that we have had in advertising structure, even though Constitution was specific as to who collects advertaries, but the drafter of Constitution forgot that local government don't own land. Look at this road now that your station is. It's owned by the federal government. How can local government say that for people that put structure there, they will now? But LASA now hold that responsibility to say certain percentage of revenue collected will go to this local government, some will go to the state, some will go to... So you won't see that kind of dispute in Lagos State, another state that have harmonized. But there are some states, in spite of this good example they have seen from Lagos State, and the state agents have set up their structure, local government were still very adamant. So, but laws like this will help to put finality to a conversation around we have the right, we don't have the right. That is why harmonization will be. So if you are somebody in
make it sound like it's really
It's a walk in the park.
I love how nice it sounds, but he also already mentioned that it depends on the enforcement, that the government needs to enforce the lack of the people that are already used to the way they are doing things to stop doing it.
Not just that, there should be punitive measures to those who decide to infringe.
Yes,
so for instance, you're traveling interstate and somebody drops a stick. You have confirmed under harmonized tax, you've done your paperwork. And the person you're talking to is insisting. Who do you take that out? That person
How do you report the matter? Yes.
That's why we need the tribunal.
That's why you need the
On the main road.
Most of the time,
The office of the tax.
most of the time, I also think that it should be enforced by the federal, states, and local government that you cannot just show up in my shop and ask me to pay taxes. There should be a digital identification means. That is, if I scan maybe a code, I can see your name that you come from. So when I'm reporting, I'm not reporting unknown gunman or unknown face. I'm reporting someone that can actually be punished, be traced. So we don't just hire people, we have won election, we want to employ 15,000 youths. Oh yeah, come, let's settle you, start going
That
to
still
the
happens in Lagos. It's happening in Lagos. Even despite that, I've had to settle a relatively unknown young man. And when I traced it to ask the local government, because I could even have access to ask the local government chairman in the area that, who are these boys that two of them have come out, and this is the number they gave me. He said, they are our boys. We just gave them a target on revenue they should make, and whatever is left over, they can get to keep to take care of themselves. So they go outside from estate to estate and place impose bills. So, and at the end of the day, I said, well, I've already paid officially for this. He said, for peace, just give them something. So
many Nigerians are still facing this.
We're still having to do for peace, settle.
So I settle 2 places.
Yes, you will settle 3 times for peace, because you know that the process of getting justice to be served or following the right path is a slow one, and we still haven't. You cannot. Your English is not going to solve the problem. We'll still have to just say it out so that our politicians, who are the lawmakers, can review and impute this inside.
Yes, because I wanted to answer Nima to say that, so that's what the Office of the Ombudsman is there for. So even before you get to the appeal tribunal, you already have the different offices, which I want to believe will be available maybe in the local governments for people to quickly get answers and be pointed in the right directions before you can take up the case now to the appeal.
So let me ask, sorry, that the government, from the government side, there should be on uniformed individuals who would take those trips as well and arrest these people
undercover.
So I'm more concerned about the people on the streets who have for many years been collecting this, and there are a lot of them. What is going to happen to them? Because it seems like you are beginning to take food from their mouth. Where are you going to put them? If they are not able to collect tax the way they've been collecting from businesses, they may decide to start doing something. So is there any plan to integrate them, or are you just going to dump them and do this harmonization? Very important for us on the streets.
For me, countries where this have been done, they are the first set of people that were trained for them to now have new orientation. Not all of them were taken in those environments. They were trained and they were integrated into the system. Of course, somebody with a fresh orientation will lead the team, but you still have them as foot soldiers who now know that this is the way things should be done differently. But for those of them who feel that, oh no, this is the way it should be done, the law is the law. once we pass a law and says that you can no longer go on the streets and start throwing stick on people's tires to collect money from them, then doing that will become illegal and it will come with consequences. So I would not encourage that people should be left unemployed or people should be left hungry. At the same time, we need to be mindful of the overall economy. If you have to pay a charge 3-4 times and you are doing business, where do you think the burden will be transferred to? Of the customer. So now people's disposable income will be affected, poverty may increase, hunger may increase. So we need to look at it, which is better for us, to deal with poverty and make everybody poor, or to deal with illegality and right the wrong so that we can improve our overall economy. Apart from that, we have been looking for investors. How many investors want to come, bring their team, employ Nigerians, and they hear that on Oshodi, 3 vehicles, some boys, true stick, they won't understand us. So what would that mean for ease of doing business in Nigeria? And that is why perhaps you've seen people say, oh, this is long overdue. We need to start putting structure. You want a nation. You see, when you want to go to a country that you think is developed, apart from having constant electricity supply, what comes to your mind after that is there should be structure. In fact, in your mind, you feel that, no, I don't expect this to happen. And it's not just you that is investing today. For every one investor you have, corporate or individual, there are 250 organizations, corporate or individual, that you are marketing to technically with or without your structure and with or without your system. So if you don't get them right, unfortunately, it may not last.
It's really surprising. I'm looking forward to the implementation of this. There's a little concern I have, though. I'm a bit concerned about, not just about the implementation right now. I'm concerned about the fact that we have many agencies who have always generated revenue and who have always spent from the revenue they generated, and now they are going to be stopped from generating revenue. How do you think this would, what are the loopholes you think might come up, and how do you think the government can preempt those loopholes to address those agencies?
Well, I'm expecting a lot of loopholes, especially in the medium time or right now to medium time. I expect a lot of, because people are already comfortable doing what they used to do. Now, the bill is suggesting that, you know what, still do your core mandate, but leave revenue for us. So if you leave revenue for us and we have to deal with people that are sincere, then that will be no problem. But because Adam Smith made us understand that people are not sincere, they are greedy. Adam Smith. And it's the reason why you now need to, one of the reasons why you need to study economics, for you to know how to manage the greed, not your own greed, but greed of others, alongside with yours, so that you can make the best decision. So what do? If you must deal with people who have been used to collecting such money and you don't want them, well, do you want to transfer them out of that department and move them to another area? So do you want to bring their staff and integrate them into the new National Revenue Service so that they are not working and they are responsible to you? Do you want to send a supervisor from? So quite a number of things can be done to ensure that the right thing is achieved. And if this is not done, unfortunately, we'll continue in our old ways and hoping that we're going to see a difference in the near future.
Thank you so much, Dr. Paul Alaje. You have given us a lot of information regarding this new tax reforms. I think that we are all waiting for the more elaborate, like a more detailed release of the content of this tax reform. But from what you have said, it's something we should be excited about. We cannot fight the government on taxes. They need the money to better provide services for us. We also need to pay so that we can hold them accountable. That is not oil money. This is our own money that they are spending. And so we'll continue to do our part as citizens to hold government accountable as we get more information from professionals like Dr. Paul Alaje. Thank you, ladies, for an amazing show.
Thank you, darling.
Definitely the show will continue tomorrow, but for us right now, we're leaving the studio. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.